In other news this morning, the man accused of shooting up a prayer group and killing 9 people at a predominantly black church in Charleston last year is now selecting his own jury. Dylan Roof has chosen to represent himself, the judge calling the decisions, quote, strategically unwise, but granting him the right anyway. So let's talk about this. Joining me now is CNN legal analyst Laura Coates. Good morning.
Good morning, Carol.
So did the judge have to do this?
Well, it's his constitutional right to defend himself. Whether it's a good idea is a completely different question. I mean, I have the right to remove my own appendix. Is that a good idea? Absolutely not. And in a case where he's facing federal charges and the death penalty for the killing of 9 members of the Emmanuel Church, it is going to be a very uphill battle for him legally to, one, have the wherewithal to know how to navigate the system, to know the evidentiary rules, and to figure out how to mount a defense. But really, the uphill battle emotionally will also come from the families of the victims. Remember, he is now in a position, Carol, to be able to get testimony and interview the people who were survivors of this attack. 2 women in particular who survived this bloody attack, and he'll have the opportunity now to actually ask them questions in open court. And that is going to be a very, very emotional climate, and one that could very, very easily turn into a circus.
Exactly, because some of those family members have, remember when they forgave Dylan Roof for what he did to their loved ones? And now he could bring that up when he's, cross-examining them on the stand? That just seems
it's odd,
damaging for these poor families.
It's odd for them, but it also gives them an unanticipated opportunity to be able to confront the person who's changed their lives and the community in that area of Charleston. So it's a very good opportunity in that sense. However, remember, he is representing himself, but he also has standby counsel who's there. And that standby counsel, while it's not his right to have them, the judge gave him that person nonetheless. And that defense attorney is a very, very well-regarded criminal defense attorney who was involved with the Boston Marathon bomber's defense. And so you do have somebody who is seasoned. However,
but here's the thing. This is a man who allegedly wanted to start a race war. He wrote a manifesto. So isn't it possible that he wants to represent himself because he wants to promote his manifesto through this court proceeding?
I think that is exactly what is going to happen, Carol. When I talk about the circus, you're talking about somebody who is probably going to transform an otherwise, very high decorum opportunity and environment into a filibuster, a soapbox opportunity to talk about all the reasons why he did what he did. And frankly, that's not what the trial is for. It's not an opportunity for him to simply have the podium and continue to say the same things he did in his manifesto and excuse himself. What I think his goal is in fact just that. But it won't serve him well when it comes to a jury who is going to be assigned the role of figuring out, listen, I hear your manifesto, I'm not buying it. You're guilty or you're not.
But isn't it up to the judge to try to control that?
Yes, and the judge can actually say if the defendant, Mr. Roof, in fact tries to disrupt the proceedings and do just that, he can take away that opportunity to represent himself and return to the state of normalcy with an actual attorney who is well versed in the rules of the court. So it's not going to be a free-for-all for Dylan Roof, but right now we're all left kind of wondering what was his motivation, and I suspect that it's not benign.
Well, right now, jury selection is underway, and he's questioning jurors, so of course we're going to keep an eye on it. Laura Coates, thanks so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Carol.
And you're welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Carol Costello. At This Hour with Berman and Baldwin starts now.